Mazarin's spell had changed Connacht. In his mind resided the history and future of the world. On the hero's return to Lankerfen, Connacht went immediately to the city's main forum and spoke to the dwarf Traval, forge master of the smiths of Myrthemne. Connacht described to him an ancient device that was capable of sweeping away and imprisoning whole groups of foes. The smiths could make such a device, but not without the mighty Ungaric Tomen, the dwarven book of building held within the great forge of Myrgard. To their dismay, news from the Badlands reported a horde of ghouls laying siege to the very gates of Myrgard. A day after their audience, Emperor Leotrim agreed to send a small army to Myrgard in hopes of giving aid to the dwarves battling for their homeland. Despite the recommendations of his advisors and generals, the emperor appointed Connacht to lead the contingent into the Badlands. Before the assembled army was to leave Lankerfen, the emperor spoke to Connacht. He said that he was putting a great deal of faith in him, and that if he were to fail, the loss of troops might be the doom of Lankerfen. Connacht's only reply was, "I cannot fail. It is already written." After weeks of marching, the army entered the Badlands, dry plains of dust and stone where water was as scarce as game. The sun beat down upon their brows like a hammer on an anvil. Several soldiers collapsed under the fatiguing weight of their armor and packs. A distance ahead of the army, footprints were found in the soft sand. Ghoul footprints. They numbered in the thousands, and by their direction, they were headed for Myrgard. Connacht ordered his contingent to march at double time in pursuit of the Ghoul army. Although many thought him mad to rush headlong towards a vast army, they followed him with bleak resolution. After more than 4 days of strenuous marching, the army crested a rise overlooking a sunlit valley, and there they saw the enemy. A horde of ghouls, at least 1,000 strong, sprawled out before them. Weapons and carrion were strewn about their camp. The oily smoke from their fires clouded the sky. Fences of sharpened palisades formed pens for the hundreds of wights that lumbered and shuffled in the heat. In the center of the host, a great black boulder dominated the valley floor. Rounded and shaped vaguely like a ghoul's head, it was being worshipped by the mass of feral creatures. They were making preparations for war. Connacht immediately formed a plan for a surprise attack. A small group would attack and get the Ghoul army to give chase. Then the remainder of the Lankerfen army would split, one half to attack the advancing Ghouls and the other to attack their flanks, crushing the beastly army from two sides. It was a sound plan. They just hoped that it would stand the test of battle.